Yeah, I mean, last year was exciting. I mean, I think just hearing the final comments that Jenny was, about the season and all the support we had from our administration um, and our medical staff, we were really fortunate. I mean, we raced more than anybody else. We don't have set schedules, conference schedules, like a lot of the other sports do. So we get to make our own schedule. And, at various times during the year, our program was kind of described as the thread that was holding everything together because early in the season, we went out to Las Vegas and raced everybody in the Pac-12 conference. And we're the only school outside of the Pac-12 to race all those schools during the course of the year. So that was, and then we raced the entire Big 12 and we raced everybody in the ACC. So by the time we got to the end of the year, there was nobody that was getting selected that hadn't raced us. So there was a lot of discussion on that selection call about who was going to get in, who wasn't going to get in based on how they did against us. So it was, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of our administration. I thinking back to beginning of April and getting on a commercial flight to go to Las Vegas while we're still kind of trying to figure out this whole COVID thing. And, just our kids were just super grateful of that opportunity. And then to make it to NCAAs and perform at a high level, that was, certainly kind of the cherry on top. I mean, it's what, our 50 years had been working for 4+ years, and to be able to come back and experience that as super seniors, COVID seniors, whatever you want to call them, was pretty special.
All right. And what are you kind of looking forward to this year, Coach?
Well, I was looking forward to some more normalcy, but right now it doesn't necessarily look like that's what's on our horizon. But I am excited that we're going to get a chance to train together as a team and do things more traditionally when it comes to our fall training. We got some great freshmen coming in. We got 15 of our 23 athletes that competed at NCAAs returning. So we got a really strong core group returning. But I think, like most coaches, I'm just excited to get back at it and get together as a team. And I think the beauty of this year right now is that we're getting to start the year together as opposed to separately as we were all kind of navigating at this same time last year.
All right, Katie Wyndham, you had the first question.
Coach, you kind of just hit on this with both your answers there, but how big of a milestone was it for Alabama to reach NCAAs in rowing last year? And then how do you build on that and make sure it's not just a kind of a one-time thing or a flash in the pan? I mean, I know you said you'll have 15 of 23 returning, but just kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, rowing is a racing sport, right? And it's a lot like track and field or swimming, where your pathway to success is by being fast enough to compete with and beat, in our sports, 70 other teams, right, to get to the NCAAs. And so, we know in advance to a certain degree what it's going to take to get there, and whether or not we have the talent or not. We feel like we do. We felt like we had it last year, but there's still this early stage in the season where we don't really know where everybody is coming off the summer. So, but I came here because I thought the expectation is that, you win national championships at Alabama. And, we finished 13th last year. And while that was a huge accomplishment, I don't think any of the coaches walked away from that feeling like, that was the end, right? Or that's certainly the high water mark for our program in its history, but it's certainly not the high water mark for what I'm using, I guess, a pun there, but like high water mark of what we're capable of in our sport. I think we have the resources and everything we need to win a national championship. It's just a question of talent and time, and we keep trying to develop the talent and recruit the talent in, and, we just need to keep making good use of our time as we continue to develop as a team. Hope that answered your question. Okay.
It answered a question. Let's put it that way. Anybody else for Coach? Well, obviously, Coach, you knocked it out of the park in just a few.
I think Katie's got a question. Katie's got lots of questions.
Well,
Yeah, I got another
there she is. You got another one. All right, Katie, you're up.
You talked about some of the super seniors, and I know you had a lot of girls last year that returned for their extra COVID year. How difficult was that, like kind of managing the roster and managing the boats, and how much of a carryover is there into this year with other girls maybe using their extra years that weren't seniors last year, and kind of placing, I guess that's one of your main jobs as a coach, but placing boats and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all of those athletes that came back for another year, and not everyone did, right? They were a part of a large senior class that had rode together for 4 years, and those that chose to come back for an additional year, they made a commitment to, they wanted to see it through. They wanted to. They started their journey with a goal, and they wanted to see that goal achieved. And in terms of managing rosters, I don't know. This may sound silly, but I think rosters manage themselves, right? Like athletes are competing for positions, and certain people are going to perform better than others. And when you're in a competitive environment, you identify, okay, where you want to go and what it's going to take to get there. And then you work with the coaches to get to where you want to be, if that makes sense. So, while there might be disappointment that you're not competing at the level that you want to compete at, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad or you're not making a contribution, right? And I think a lot of it is helping athletes understand, okay, what is the contribution you're going to make the team? Because there's only 9 seats in the top 8, and we got 60 athletes on the team. So, if we don't figure out how everybody can make a contribution in any given year, we're going to have 51 people that are unhappy. And I don't think we have 51 people that are unhappy. I think we got, a lot of people that feel like they're helping progress the team forward, right? And then the people coming back, we trust they're doing it because they feel like they have something they want to contribute, and they feel like the NCAA gave them the opportunity to have another year to help progress the program forward, and we trust they're going to take advantage of that opportunity.